Hey everyone, Tesla Tom here. Thanks for joining us today on Ludicrous Feed. I have got the Fullshade for Model 3 2.0, and I promise you this is much easier to install for your Tesla Model 3 compared to version 1. And check out the box from Otrifowd. It's been packaged really well. I've got their contact details there, the social media tags, and got a nice Otrifowd brand on the side as well. So yeah, I've been very impressed with Otrifowd. They've really upped their game, and inside, when we unbox it, you'll see it's been laid out for you nicely as well. They've split it into two, and we'll go through each one and how to install it today. All right, let's unbox it. So, like I said, two separate sections, one for the back glass, one for the rear glass. So the back glass is only, obviously got three sides, and then the front section has got all four sides laid out like that. So there we go, front and back. And then you've got the tools and instruction manual as well. Okay, so I've opened out the components and also the tools that come with it. You also get an instruction manual, which is actually laid out really nicely. They've really gone to great lengths to make sure that the instructions make sense, and they really do. And as I said before, it's a lot easier to install version 2.0 compared to version 1, so I'll go through with you today as well. And there's also a QR code for the video guide, which I've watched, and it's really quite straightforward. So hats off to Nancy and the team from Otrifowd for making it really easy to install the Fullshade 2.0. And they've also gotten feedback from customers and reviewers. They've included a pair of gloves, which admittedly looks a little bit small. I'll just see whether I can fit into these. I guess my hands aren't too big, but they're a little bit stretchy. They did this because the frame, even though it looks OEM, it does tend to smudge if you've got dirty hands. So you can either wear these gloves or you can wash your hands thoroughly beforehand, and you shouldn't get too much grime onto the frame. And then on this side, you've got a screwdriver, which we'll use today, and then a pry tool, and then two extra bits to install for the rear frame, and I'll show you why we need that. And I'm glad to see there's, it looks definitely easy to install. I don't see any 3M, any sticky components, any guides to line the frame up with the car, so they've really gone to great lengths to make sure it's much easier to install. Okay, so step one, we have to turn the frame upside down. So I've got my gloves on, so make sure I don't smudge the nice frame. And leave the plastic on the ground too, so you protect the frame so it doesn't touch the ground. Okay, step one is to remove both screws. I'll take my gloves off because it's a bit tricky to handle the screwdriver with the gloves on. Now, the instructions say you can just remove that one, but you can see how it's jutting up against the black tab. It's really quite difficult to take out. So I'm actually going to take out both screws on both sides, or at least loosen it. See what I can loosen it. That might be enough. Okay, that's probably enough actually. So, and again, the screwdriver is not super duper. It's, probably needs a bigger head. Well, the screw head is too big for the screwdriver, so just got to be careful you don't strip it. Okay, so take that out completely, leaving that sort of half in, pivot it around like that, and then you can slip that into screw hole, and hopefully we've got the right angle. Yes, we do, good. Okay, so screw that in, not all the way, and same with this one. Okay, I guess the screwdriver's okay, it's adequate. You could use your own screwdriver, I guess. But I'm going to try to deal with this, the one they gave me. Okay. Good, that's fairly tight, good. And then we'll repeat for this side as well. So again, undo this. Set it halfway so it's loose. Okay, and that should be enough to clear this one. Oh, I'm scared it's going to strip. I'm going to get my own screwdriver. So I've got my own trusty screwdriver here, which I like. You see how it's just a bit bigger than the screw head, so it's got a bit more grip. Okay, good. Then pivot around. Okay. Then, yep, found the hole. Right angle. Yeah, much more comfortable with this screwdriver. Okay, and then this one. And there are also black tabs for the rear full shade as well. So let's undo these ones. So we'll start with the front one just to loosen this tab so that we can make room for this one. Swivel this around and then guide it in the hole. Okay, same for this side. Undo this one halfway just to loosen the tab. Wow, this one's really over the other screw, so I might have to remove the whole thing. Okay, so take this one out all the way. Okay. And then start with the front one first. Okay, halfway again, and then we'll guide it into the hole for the other one. Alright, so I'm in the car and I've got my gloves on so I don't smudge the frame, and this is really quite easy. So just hold on to the frame and just watch the two black tabs. You'll see I'm just going to slide them literally into the groove between the glass and the rest of the car. So once you're sliding in, it should be quite flush, and it is. Right, both sides. Cool. Okay, now we've got the back of the front frame slid in. So now we're going to look over here, and the visors we're going to bring down like that. Yep. And just sort of have them there just sitting on the visors, so you can now adjust these black tabs. Okay, so the next step is to slide these two black tabs into the middle. We'll see why in a minute, because it'll be easier to slide them into this gap here if they're in the middle. Okay, so put them in the middle like that. And then, okay, so now our aim is to get these black tabs all the way out to the periphery on the right once I'm in position, and same with the left tab all the way out to the left on the periphery. Okay, so let's do this. So bring this up. Shouldn't need the pry tool, they gave you one, but I think we can do without. So slide it up, okay, so gently slide up like that. You don't need too much force, in fact the less force the better, and you'll see that's eventually going to catch that gap right between the panel and the roof. Okay, let's leave that there for a moment. Let's slide this one, again, less force, more patience. Okay, and it should catch the gap. Yep, we're in the gap now. Good, okay. Again, I'll leave that one and I'll come to the passenger seat once I do this side. So again, I'm just gently, see that? Just more patience than anything else. All right, I'm gonna hop over to the passenger side and do that side. Again, just with a bit more patience than force. Just slide this out all the way to the periphery, and as much as you can, and that is the limit. I literally cannot push this anymore, so that, just check this side. Oh, this one can go a bit more, just a touch more. Okay, that is it, okay. I'm out to the periphery. You can double check as much as you want. Okay, and that is basically the install. That's much easier than Fullshade 1. And let me just show you what it looks like when I slide it out. See that? So I can do this when I'm driving. My passenger can do it too. And it's a very nice rail that it slides along. I don't think this mechanism has changed from Fullshade 1. It's the same. And this is, in cross-section, is a honeycomb appearance. So light, but durable material. To keep out the summer sun. That's great. And what about the visors? Do they still close? Yes, they still close. Probably not as flush as it used to be, but it's okay. It's still butting up against the rest of the Fullshade. In fact, it probably makes it more stable because this is now providing more support for it as well. Okay, let's do the rear one. All right, so the first job is to put these black tabs into that gap once again, and they give you two, and they are asymmetrical. So one's for right, one's for left. They're not actually labeled, but it's pretty easy to work out because you want it sitting like that. That way this part captures the back of the rear full shade, and same with the other side, which I'll show you as well. And they give you a pry tool as well in case you can't get it in, but I think it's pretty straightforward. You don't even need the pry tool, see, it's already in. Just use it to slide it back like that. So bring it back just to the level of the headrest, maybe a bit further back as well. So you've got plenty of room. And I'll show you the other side. Okay, so again, asymmetrical, so make sure you've got the correct side. And again, just slipping it like that. Pry tool not needed. And then just slide it back all the way, just past the headrest. Okay, and you are now ready to install the rear one. Okay, now we're ready to install the rear one, and you want to hold it like this with the nice bit facing you, and obviously the mechanism facing up towards the roof. And let me just show you how easy this will be to install compared to 1.0. Super easy. So just align it like this. And then you want to guide the tabs up into the gap, right, between the panel and the glass roof. So you may not be able to see the black tabs in. Yeah, it's a bit hard to see with the black tabs going in, but basically these tabs here, I'll just show. See that? You probably see the reflection of the tab up on the roof there. Those black tabs, right, that one needs to go in the gap between the roof and the car. So in this bit here. Okay, so let's do that. And I'm just doing it unsighted, it's that easy. It's just slotting in, so it's good. And then just hoist it up like that, and we are flush. It's very flush. And now you'll see, we had these ready before, right? Okay, so now for the rear part of it, and you'll see, hopefully you can see there is a bit of a groove where this tab can slot into. So once I push this up like that, we'll get, you can use the pry tool actually to guide it in, but you just want the black tab to just sit in the groove. Okay, so now we're in the groove, right? And that's it. That's that easy. There's no 3M tape, that's it, we're on. And same with the other side, and you'll see that the black tab sits in that little groove there for the rest of the full shade, so very easy indeed. Alright, so the final thing we need to do is inspect the product for gaps between the full shade and the rest of the car. It looks pretty good on that side. Looks okay up here, and looks pretty good so far. That looks pretty good actually. Keep in mind, of course, you've got to take into account production of the car itself, and my experience may vary slightly from yours, but so far so good in the rear full shade. Okay, let's inspect the front. It looks pretty flush to me. Looks pretty good so far. Looks pretty good on this side. We'll look at the back of the front one from the back seat in a second. Okay, so the rest of the driver's side, again, looks pretty good to me. All the way. Okay, and inspecting the back of the front full shade. Small gap, yes, there, but only if you're looking for it. And again, production may vary between cars as well, production build quality. Okay, looks good on that side too. Okay, so I'm pretty happy overall. Okay, so now that we've installed the rear one, let's test the slide. Again, very smooth. Yep. Back and forth. I'm very happy. Now, of course, it's time to go for a test drive and check it works when you're actually on the road. So stay with us. Alright everyone, so we're on the main road now, so we will try to do a couple of tests as we're going at relatively quick speed. So starting with 70 kilometers an hour, Just go back to the middle lane here. Okay, so I've got, obviously, you know, you need to take one hand off the wheel to do this, but it's pretty straightforward. See that? I want it to shut, very easy, and again, sliding it back like that, very straightforward as the driver. I've been asked also, does it rattle? So let's just go through some of these bumpy bits. Okay, I'll just have it sort of half open for you. Here's a bumpy. Yeah, a little bit. Tiny bit. Not terrible. Let's close it all the way. Yeah, I don't think any more than the car itself, especially when it's shut. It seems to be pretty stable. I suppose if you have it half open, you might feel a bit more of a rattle. Now, the other question someone asked too before with Fullshade 1 was, does it cause any vibration when you have the windows down? Let's see. I don't know, I personally don't drive with the windows down too often, but I thought that was okay for that brief test. Yeah, alright, so that's pretty much it for Fullshade 2.0 for that drive test. And obviously Joy's got the rear one in the back there. She could probably test for you, maybe. There you go, there's the passenger. Pretty easy there to slide. And yeah. See now, actually Joy, can you just bring it down, all the way down again? I'll just do the rattle test with both down. Yeah, pretty quiet, right? Yep. Yep, pretty happy. Alright everyone, I'm Tesla Tom. You've been watching me install the Fullshade 2.0. Many thanks to Otrifowd again for sending me this product to review. Here's my coupon code for 10% off, and I'll leave a link to the product in the video description below as well. Thanks for watching. Until the next video, happy charging.